In a quiet little town in Belgium, the epic battle for honor and glory is about to unfold. Zemst is once again the heart of Europe's biggest curling league. With 29 teams from 8 mighty nations, the competition is heating up on the coldest surface known to man. The stage is set for a historical new chapter. Watch the epic unfolding of the new season. Will the reigning champion dominate the series? Or will N19 rise up and revive old glory? Are the Tigers the dangerous outsiders? Or could it be the desperate housekeepers? We welcome hard-sweeping power from the east, dazzling charm from the north, strategic battle plans from the south, and nerves of steel from the west. We're going to see devastating duck duels and rock-solid wisdom from Stone Good. We may not have Canada's heroic Homan, Matt's badass Stars and Stripes, or a Swedish Viking princess like Anna. But our league forges its own legends. Meet the magician, Peekaboo Caro, the little general, Gatling Gun Tom, the GOAT, Mustache Man, and don't forget the Walter. We'll express our uncensored opinion. Celebrate only the very best of shots, and seduce you with our sweet voices. Because that is what we do. We simply love curling, and we are devoted to bring this exciting, roaring game out into the world.
What a play!
Hello, curling fans. Welcome into day 3, session 1 of the Benelux Cup here 2025. We've got doubles action for you this morning. Netherlands versus Luxembourg. Both teams fighting to basically stay in second place, or for that second place spot.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the story of the day. You can see it during the kind of placeholder. Belgium 25 points. Then Luxembourg 11, the Netherlands 12. Now the Netherlands, they have to play 7 more games, so Belgium is not into the kind of victory mode yet, but they are very close and it will be kind of a close battle here.
Yeah, I believe if Belgium beats the Netherlands in one head-to-head matchup, then it's...
I think 2.
Does it need to be 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did some maths yesterday before I got to bed. I consumed my extra hour of sleep by calculating all the possible outcomes of this tournament.
Lots of stuff going on, but we're going to be focusing on this doubles match here this morning. Yeah, it has Daniel and Virginie from Luxembourg, and Daniel has cost me. I picked him. He was guest hosting yesterday, and I picked twice. I followed him on his predictions, so it's like, do I pick him to play, or am I mad at him that I have to pick against him? I haven't decided yet, but this is, yeah, it's something I'm thinking about.
Yeah, John is easily influenced by bad friends. So if your mom is watching, John has some bad friends. Take a good eye on who he hangs around with. I mean, now he's still okay-ish, but before you know it, he just can fall down the drain. And by the way, speaking of your family, if your wife is watching, maybe I have a little bit of an extra story to tell about.
Oh, please no.
Let's keep that for later.
Yeah, that's off stream for sure.
That is off stream for sure. But now it has got people thinking,
what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. All right. So basically, John, let's have a quick tour around our tables. As you can see, Belgium collecting quite a lot of points here so far. In the doubles, we have Belgium B winning all 3 games up until this point. They will play their 4th later today, but yeah, Belgium is doing pretty solid. Yeah.
Netherlands B playing this morning on the stream. They've won both of their matches, so can't write them off just yet.
Nope.
Luxembourg B, they've won 1, but they've been in every match. They just had a couple of stones go not their way. And also they said they faced Tom van Waterschot from the other Belgian team, and he's just a guy who puts his stone where you need it. And it was so frustrating to play against him because he never missed. So I said that was one of those tough uphill battles the entire way.
Darn Tom van Waterschot always. Darn. And that's also the thing with curling. You win by skill, you lose by bad luck or an opponent. That is how every sport kind of works, but definitely curling.
the
And
ice maker's fault.
yeah, definitely.
Always.
If both teams struggle, then you get to blame the ice makers.
So let's pop over and look at the overall. You can see, as we said, Belgium racking up 25 points through the first 2 days. I believe they have 5 matches going today.
Yeah.
Luxembourg also with 5. It's the Netherlands that has the 2 extra. So they were going to hope to climb up that ladder and try to challenge Belgium for the victory to retain their cup. So the Netherlands won it last year. They brought the cup with them. It is sitting up in the Sky Bar. But right now, Belgium looking like the favorites to bring it home. But still a full day of curling left to sort it out.
Yeah, because with 7 matches for the Netherlands, they can 7 times 3 is 21. So 21 plus 12, they can go up to 33 points, which means Belgium, they would need 8 points or 9 points basically to beat that. And they can do that by just defeating the Netherlands twice. Because by defeating Netherlands twice, Netherlands would go from 33 to 27, and Belgium would be at topping that 27 with 31. An extra 6.
Yeah,
so that's how 2 victories for Belgium against the Netherlands, and it's a done deal. That could happen in the next session, because in the next session we will have Belgium against the Netherlands twice on both sheets. So good with 2 Belgian victories. Could have been decided already after session 2, but maybe that's too much down the future. And let's have a tap into this game this morning, John, a doubles game. The Netherlands against Luxembourg. Virginie and Daniel are playing against. I tried to peek on the sheet. I wasn't quite sure. I think I've seen Wouter.
Is it Wouter
Drubbel
and Suzette? I believe that's...
No, I think I've seen Wouter Cockbull. We'll sort it out.
We'll have to.
Yeah, they're on this end of the sheet, so we can't really see from here. We're sitting all the way up in the balcony, so
we took our time coming in this morning. Instead of being here an hour early as usual, we walked up and they were already doing the warm up. So we don't have the rosters fully memorized.
No.
But they are doing their LSDs right now. The Luxembourg team out there with their, I think they threw the first one, had a measure, didn't quite see how close or far. I think it was in the 4 foot, so it's a pretty good result. So now they're going to throw the counterclockwise. So while we're waiting for them to do that, we can make our predictions. We can head on over here. And we can see I've had a bit of a bad run, totally unlucky. And honestly, if you look at that first win, that was luck too. That was my mouth speaking before my brain. And so I accidentally said the Netherlands when I meant to say Belgium, but Tim held me to it. And well, they came back and stole the win at the very end. So that's the only reason why I'm not all red.
That is good influence. I was good influence for you, trying to avoid you from disaster. So
I'm not sure I want to pick first. My luck has been so bad. It's like, maybe let somebody else pick for me. But I think I am going to go with Luxembourg this morning. I am, despite I'm going against my own, what's the word I'm looking for? Own intuition. I'm counter-picking myself. So in my head, it says, the Netherlands are 2-0, but I'm going to counter. And I'm also going against, Daniel. I have a beef with him right now after following him and getting those 2 wrong the last 2 times. So I'm going to ride on Daniel this morning. So he's going to hear it from me if he loses. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was a hard one to guess, because Luxembourg B, they have 3 losses so far, but for some reason I feel like they didn't deserve at least 3 losses. They're just up against strong teams and they were in the game every time. But by picking Luxembourg, you kind of nudged me in counter picking, so I'll go for the Netherlands for a good counter pick. I would like to see this kind of trend continue with red on top, green on the bottom. It looks so nice. I think we can add 2 more green dots on the bottom shelf there.
I see Tim popped in the chat. Tim saying, pick opposite what your brain says, John. Yeah, that's what I've gone with this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome in. I am I am really going against what my brain said. My brain said pick the Netherlands or 2-0. Nope, go with.
I don't trust my own brain.
Nope.
This is how confident I
am. I'm flipping a coin in my head right now. That's how down bad I am. All right, so it looks like they are ready to get things underway. So why don't you guys put your favorites, who you think's going to win in the chat. I didn't set up any polls this morning, but actually I don't think I've set up any this weekend.
No.
Working on a new system that still needs some trial and error, so we'll get that out
Yeah,
soon
and
enough.
I hope that quite a lot of people will watch. I mean, in Belgium currently there is the Belgium Cup going on, so there is plenty of matches going on in Curling Club Zem. So maybe we're up on the TV advertising to the future generation of Belgium curling. How exciting curling can be, starting with playing for your nation here at the Benelux Cup, and maybe eventually beating Team Verreken at one of the challenges and going to the World's Olympics, meeting the king, president of some countries. I mean, the sky is the limit.
Sky is the limit. Dream big, you know.
But it starts locally.
All right, then. So they are getting ready to go. So why don't we head on out? We see Luxembourg with the hammer in this first end. That's good for them. We will get things going. And oh, it is Mauro and Walter Koch. Okay.
Yeah.
Mauro is a bit, so he's Italian and has recently started playing in the Netherlands. And it's a bit of a, he plays with the step-on slider because his shoes didn't arrive from Italy. So he ordered some new shoes. They didn't arrive. So we kind of underestimated him in the first match because it's like, oh, a step-on slider, he's pretty new. But no, he is very confident. He seems to know what he's doing. So don't let the step-on slider fool you if you're going to make your picks based on that. I think they're waiting for the timer to start.
Yeah, there is a mandatory waiting time.
So yeah, all of these matches, 6 ends with a thinking clock. These doubles matches get 16.5 minutes of thinking time. And we have officials here watching over, and seems like there it goes. First stone in play. I agree with you, Tim. Using a step-on slider now would feel like I'm about ready to fall off of it. Oh, perfect opening stone from Mauro. Exactly what you want to do. Get that in there locked up against the back stone.
See what an extra hour of sleep can do to a man.
Now, both Virginie and Daniel, experienced curlers playing together in mixed doubles. They should know each other's tendencies, what to do. Feels a bit heavy. Yeah, Virginie pointing up, but this is the first couple of stones out. So how much has the pebble been broken down from the warm-ups? You don't know.
Feels like there's not a lot of curl this morning. They
No,
just keep
this
going
one's kind of
straight.
staying out there. It does die down once it gets to the house, but that is going to settle down behind the tee line into third shot. We do not have mics on the skips this morning because Kim still has our other mic from last night.
Yeah.
She brought it she forgot and she was wearing it, brought it back to her hotel. So
she wore it all night. Oh.
She's at the dinner broadcasting everything she was eating.
Yeah. He was trying to record all of the locker room trash talk during the dinner party. Recorded for us as a kind of secret spy agent. He was all wired up. See if we can discover some interesting fun facts about players. But only about Belgian players, because the Belgian delegation sat at their own table during the dinner evening party.
This one going to settle in nicely. Going to take away that draw path. So that's going to make trying to find topics to discuss on stream. Yes, it's going to be a little more difficult without listening into what they're saying and being able to criticize. But hey, we'll work it out. But this is going to be an easy decision for Luxembourg. They're just going to come around the other side. That draw to the pin is still there. Daniel seems to think this one's got enough weight. It does feel a bit on the heavy side, so that I don't think is going to have enough to curl over. Once it crosses the hog line, it starts to slow down, but just doesn't get the curl that they need, and that will slip into second spot. But is exposed. I think we'll probably see a draw into use that as a top. And Bina is here and getting to see an entire match.
Good morning, Bina.
Good morning to you. And this is one of the rare times we've gotten to show every single stone where we didn't talk too long in the the pregame, and we were ready to go before they were. This one looks all right on the heavier side, but I think that's going to curl over as it starts to slow down. That should turn right into the button. There it is, right there on the pin. Perfect stone. Although you could argue, yeah, there's a hit there, but will it jam on that yellow behind it? I think so. This yellow here, I think, is a jammer, so. And also this red has nowhere really to go. Those reds in the middle, both of them can't go away, so maybe not necessary to hit something, although you could just do it to loosen it up. So yeah, Bina, what are you going to do? You're coming in for the first match. Nobody is winning. You have no idea who to root for to start out. I would assume if we tell you what their overall records are so far that that might influence your decision, but I kind of want to see what you'll say before you have that information. They are going for the clear up the middle. That is going to just tick that one and then do the worst thing possible and tap that red one in. But it loosens stuff up and now opens up the button.
Red is sitting 3 though. Red is sitting 3. Yellow has hammer.
Yeah, and there is another pocket for the Netherlands to get in there.
I mean, if they just do one more decent draw, I don't really see a lot of options for yellow to get a result out of this first end here.
Yeah, I think, oops, well, it took me too long to draw that in. Figure just a little pocket right there, top of the forefoot would be ideal. This one feels a bit wider, so yeah, this one's going to need to curl if it is, but if it's too heavy, it's going to go straight, and if it's the right weight, I just feel like it's too wide and it's not going to curl over enough. Starting to come down, but yeah, that just is going to stay out wide. So there is there's a hope for Luxembourg. Yeah, they can just come in, get it right in there, and should be able to, even if it sits up against that red, I think it might still be shot.
Yeah, did the Netherlands not sweep long enough on that red stone to kind of extend the curl? It started to curl, but then it also immediately dropped dead because of the weight.
Yeah, I don't know that even with both of them sweeping, they could have gotten it to curl over into a good spot. I think it was just wide. Yeah, Bina has no clue. Needs to watch for a few ends before I decide. I have to wait to see who's winning before I choose. But fortunately, that means he's going to choose the opposite. He's not a front runner. He likes the underdog. So coming in with weight on this will get around that guard easily. That will pick on the top one, though. What is that going to do? Kind of loosens things up some more. And, ooh, it's hard to see where that yellow one is. That might be shot now.
Yeah, definitely it sits in a pretty interesting position because the pin is open. There's a lot of backing, but all scattered behind T-line. And that Yellowstone is waiting to get nudged into a shot position if it isn't already. So they are looking at a possible takeout here, but yeah, you need to find a really good angle because the downside of missing your takeout is kind of hard. Now,
I like the idea of going for the takeout, though. It's, you can get into the inside edge. This kicks out to the side. Shooter rolls away, but you're sitting 3. Now you're behind the tee, but you're basically forcing them to 1.
Yeah.
You're gonna put some pressure on them to get it into the pocket and hold it, which could be an issue.
Well, the only counter argument for a takeout is the shooter will also roll out, and therefore you would leave just an open pocket for yellow to draw into. But then that's 4-1, so that is a good outcome,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think the risk reward here is pretty good, although it's starting to curl over. Walter needs to get on that broom, and that is going to actually over curl.
I think so, yeah. It's coming
Now, if
onto
it gets onto the nose, maybe they could tap that red one back, but I think it's not going to quite get on the nose. Kind of makes it difficult for Luxembourg to score a second.
yeah, if they can find a way in between those two red ones over on the left, if it comes in between, then you can just tap off the redstone in the house and stick around. Could work. Should is maybe putting it slightly too strong, but definitely could.
The big risk with it is if they come through this gap and it over curls, that shoots off there, and then Luxembourg ends up stealing 3.
Yeah.
But I think if they throw it enough weight to get in, you're going to hit here, and it's probably going to kick those out. They could end up even getting an extra one out of it, maybe 3, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can get an extra out of it because that red one over on the left is really frozen against the yellow, so that will always kind of stick in that position. So the second shot stone should beat that one red.
Shooter really does need to end up fully inside the 4-foot, so I don't really like the draw on this because I think it would over curl and get onto their own yellow. So very likely going to have to put at least hack weight on this, I believe.
Yeah, it's hard
through that gap.
Yeah, I don't really know the amount of curl on that side so far. I can't really remember.
There is only one way to find out.
Going for the other side here.
Okay. Is that one going to get around? Virginia trying to hold it, but I believe that's going to curl and catch that center guard. It does, so that is going to be 1 for
do
Luxembourg.
They know already? I think they
are
second guessing.
I think they can kick away the ones they know for sure. Then they're just looking at that. Yeah, that's 1 for yellow. So Luxembourg manages to take 1 with their hammer. I think that's a good result from for the Netherlands. They were sitting in a strong spot, really kind of forced it. That's their last stone being short actually helped them out. Put up a guard, made it very difficult to get back in there. So now at this point, Bina will be switching his allegiance to the Netherlands. We will keep track of that throughout the match. Here we go, other members of Team NL watching up in the Sky Bar, the luxury suite here in the arena. And Suzette waving to us.
Yes, there is a bit of a delay between the actual footage and then the footage on cameras, but they will plenty of time to wave at the cameras here.
So they will see themselves wave in about 20 seconds. Pretty lucky for Luxembourg. Yeah, I think they got away with one there. Could have been very, very nasty. But I also think that even if Luxembourg had gotten that pick, they would still have a pocket for 1. So I think it would have been an easier stone. Pretty much the same stone they just threw, but just without that guard in the middle. It would have tucked into the pocket. I cannot see the timer, the in-between. So playing with the thinking clock, they are playing with mandatory minute breaks between each end. And we saw a stone get taken out of play yesterday because a team threw too early. So teams are very conscious of waiting that full minute. This one on the wide side, Daniel almost falling there. Wide and a little heavy, going to settle into the back of the 12-foot. So now opportunity for the Netherlands to drop something on top of that red, and Mauro has been pretty good with his draw weights this weekend. Although with this early ice, you look at it and it's like, wow, that's very fast. Is that going to just settle down? That feels way too heavy. going to sweep it by and goes past. So now in curling and doubles, you're not allowed to take out any rocks, including your own, in the first 5. So if that had hit their red and knocked it out, well, it would have come back into play and the shooter would have been taken out. So even inside the house, you are not allowed to take anything out during the first 5 stones. Now we have 5. Sorry, no, we don't have 5 stones in play yet. After this one will be the 5th stone. So the 2 stones that start out in the field of play are considered stones in play. So they count towards the 5. This one initially looks like on the heavy side, but Daniel trying to sweep it. Maybe feels like that's going to be trying to get that to curl over. That is going to chip on the red. They want to make sure that red doesn't go too far, and it doesn't. Yellow shooter is going to slide to the back of the house. Morrow making sure that gets to the edge. So less of backing behind the pin, but you still do have that red right there on the back of the forefoot. Morrow thinking if this is what we want to do we want to guard? I feel like you just draw for the pin here. Wanting to come from the other side, so in case it over curls.
Oh,
Wrong color stone.
wrong color
there.
stone,
Yep.
yeah.
Now, normally you'd let them play that through, and then you just replace the stones once it's been thrown. But
yeah,
they're going to be sporting, and because technically once the stone crosses the tee line, it's in play. But
yeah, I think Wouter started the sliding, and kind of during the sliding, he figured out, wait a minute, something feels odd, and then he hit the brakes, or
yep. This one coming in a bit on the lighter side. Not quite getting there. Got to wonder if that pause maybe threw him off a little bit. It's a little bit distracting. Yeah, Bina, it doesn't happen often, but I've actually seen at the Olympics, or it was Olympics or World Championships, where somebody accidentally threw the wrong stone. And, all you do is and they were like, what do we do? But at least one player on the ice knew exactly what to do. You just replace the one that you threw with the one you should have thrown, and everything stays as normal. So,
yeah, the idea is not to disrupt the game too much by having second attempts on the same stone.
Or having to put everything back to where it was before you threw it, which is a nightmare. So this is going to draw back onto that red, taps it through. Not quite all the way out, but yeah, so yellow sitting first 2 right now. But everything behind the tee line, so yes, there's a very the spirit of curling is a very important part of how matches are played and how you handle things. And most of the officials are really just there in case somebody on the ice can't come to an agreement about something.
Yeah, and they often don't just enforce rules. Most of the officials are there to clarify what the rule is, and then in that situation, even Skips decides, well, will we apply it, or will we just allow the team that it was an accident and just go forward with the mistake?
That one a little bit heavy. It was on the wide side, so yellow still sitting shot. For me, this is an easy decision. Draw it into like top of the 8-foot. Now, both teams have Struggled with finding the right weight, mostly heavy on this end. But there are paths where it will just suddenly slow down. So like this one here looked pretty fast to begin with, but starting to slow. So Daniel trying to drag this one as deep as he can. Needs to get it over. Is that going to curl enough? A little bit. That's a tight gap there. So Morrow looking at it, is that worth it to go? No, the other side is much more open. Draw through that one, get on top of the button over there. Feels like somebody opened a window in here. It suddenly got drafty. As earlier I was about to say, oh, I'm pretty warm from this heater. Maybe I should take off the blankets and stuff. And now it's like, nope, I'm keeping the heater and the blankets on. Venus saying he doesn't hear the wonderful rumble on the ice. Yeah, the on ice microphones are kind of tuned down because there's an ice skating rink right next to us where they're playing a lot of music, and to avoid a lot of that interference and also possible copyright strikes, we are we've tuned them down quite a bit so they aren't really picking up much in the way of the ice action. I miss the rumble as well, but we kind of have to protect that a little bit.
Yeah.
Protect the channel a bit from copyright strikes. Unfortunately, a necessary part of streaming. And also, like, right now it's just the figure skaters in here practicing, but in the afternoon it becomes just basically like an open skate ice hall, and they play the vibes really come up, but there are just hundreds of people out on the ice. It gets quite noisy, so I think it would drown out the stones anyway. This one feels wide. It is going to slow down though and catch on the red guard there.
I feel like in terms of finding your weight here, there are two weights that teams figured out. That's back of the house and front of the house, but the
Not
house
in the
itself
house.
is kind of empty.
So what does Luxembourg do here? You have this wall of stones right out in front of the house. They have one, and they're looking at possibly running it back. That might be the best option. Going for this red, trying to run it back onto there. They've got backing there. It's not an easy decision. You don't necessarily want to run a yellow one back on here, and because you could end up leaving a second one in scoring. That's a very long run back though.
Yeah.
But they don't really have a whole lot of options. I don't think it curls in enough from outside of either of these paths. I think here to here is almost impossible.
Technically, there is a double takeout, a run back and double takeout out there, but let's not mention that because it is just a theoretical option.
You're talking this yellow combo here.
No, like running reds onto yellow and jamming on the back yellow.
I
something
see.
like
This to that. Yeah, that's a possibility. I know certain teams would try that. I think Team Vareka would look at that and go, we could probably get that. But Team Vareka also doesn't play doubles, so probably Jeroen would. Jeroen and Caro would see that. I would see it and then immediately say, well, no, I'm not that good. Let's just try for one.
Yeah.
So going with some heat on this one.
Unable to follow with the step-on slider, so it's just Stone has to do it all by itself. Ooh.
Gets the hit, and look at that run back. Amazing.
Wow.
We love that. Great shot from Morrow.
Amazing indeed. Fantastic. And this bumps over on the Dutch side because well, it was not an easy shot to make, to be honest, and they pulled it off. So this is definitely something we're going to rewatch and think process
Absolutely.
into some kind of nice reel afterwards because
Yeah, that has been clicked. That is highlight reel worthy. Even brings Dagmar out of the lurk. Good morning, Dagmar. Yeah, that was an incredible shot. That, if you are not familiar with curling, that kind of a long run back at an angle, getting it right on there, that is a tough thing to do. That was at least a good 7-8 meters run back. Yeah, now Bina is confused. He doesn't know it's tied up. This will be, I think, the running joke of every broadcast that Bina joins us for this season is who does he root for when there's a tie or when there's nothing going on yet? That does put the momentum. You got to feel like that's got to be like a good momentum boost for the Netherlands hitting that shot, knowing they were in trouble. The guard watching over the prison yard. I mean, the timer watching over the match. Right, so Netherlands going to be starting things off here at end number 3. We're all tied up after that incredible run back. And somehow you're such an outsider, Bina. I think you've started picking up things in here and there, and sometimes it's not about what you know about the sport, because there's different levels of teams, and so like some things that teams at the top level would do don't necessarily fit in with what happens here at sort of like a mid-tier competition. So yeah, the textbook on certain things would be like, oh, you have to throw this shot, but then you have to look at who's playing, who's throwing, who you're playing against, what the ice is like. So I think you've picked up enough over the couple of years you've been tuning into the streams.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do also appreciate that you like to root for the underdog. It gives them, it makes them feel less alone out there, like nobody's rooting for us, nobody believed in us. You always have Bina on your side. This one comes around nicely and is going to settle in right at the top of the forefoot. Good opening stone.
I like it a lot. It's behind the center guards, front of the D line. It's actually sitting there, well protected. So immediately the stone the Netherlands will have to deal with. Cannot deal with it right now. No takeouts allowed yet.
And besides, Bina, you can always ask us questions if you're not sure. That's what we're here for. We love to explain the game to non-curlers and new curlers, people new to curling. This one is wide. That's going to settle in right around the tee line, but just had that outside line, not really curling over enough from out there.
That's why we eventually decided to start a stream to feed our mansplaining needs in curling. It's a big beast. It's hungry. We need to feed it. But now we can do hours and hours of mansplaining. And the good thing is, our wives, they can watch at home, but they cannot really interrupt too much. It's just a perfect world, to be honest. No, I'm just joking, of course. They can interrupt.
I am just going to throw the disclaimer out there. These opinions are solely of the person speaking them and not necessarily of Curdia TV and or its subsidiaries.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind them interrupting, because then you get to explain them why they're wrong and explain it again. So it just doubles up the mansplaining part. So no, I'm taking it a bit too far, I guess. I'm doing it because I kind of know Annemiek watching, so I'm just trying to poke her.
Yeah. Muted. We're back. Sorry about that, everybody. Thank you for being patient. Have to figure out where we are because they keep playing while we're dead. So looks like there was a power play on this one.
I think a power play caused a power outage because as soon as they kicked in with a power play that just consumed so much energy that everything dropped dead on our end.
It was 2 for Luxembourg in end number 3. We're getting the power play in this one. Now let's sort out what stone number we are on. Let's see, 1, 2.
I think this is the maybe second stone plate. This is the third stone maybe plate or second. I don't know, really know for sure.
This one coming in is going to settle on that red in the back. Going to tap it through, settle down in front of it. It's stone there, not shot, but second stone picks out a red. All right, I see one red in the back. 2, that's third red, third yellow. Yes, I think we're okay on stones. There we go. So Luxembourg leading 3-1. We're all here in the fourth. Welcome back, chat. Thank you for being patient with us. We have learned a few things from this weekend. One of them is get a battery backup and make sure you have more than one circuit so you're not sharing circuits with the timers. And I think that's what's happening is we're overloading everything. So many computers plugged into it, it's just kind of putting it over the edge. Looking for that split, wanting to get it into second shot, but I believe that comes up just a bit short. Oh no, okay. There we go. Now we're caught up on the stones. Everything is correct. There we go. Virginie throwing her last stone of the end. Trying to make something happen here. limiting the Netherlands on their power play would be ideal.
Yeah, it's rough starts for the Netherlands this morning because also on the B sheet, Luxembourg is taking the lead 3-1 against the Netherlands. So if the Netherlands want to have a shot at winning the Benelux Cup 2025, they probably cannot lose too many matches. Definitely not the first two this morning. Otherwise, they can max score 27 points. When that would mean one Belgian victory is enough to claim the victory and put a flag on that huge trophy that is sitting in the canteen area.
Yep. This one's sitting open opportunity. And with that red out in front, they can do a hit and roll here, get into a very strong position. Would almost force Luxembourg to have to draw again to the middle, leaving an open shot. First things first, need to get rid of the stone. Lauter jumping up to sweep his own. Is that going to over curl? It's going to catch it. Will it be enough to push it out to the side? It does. So they lose the shooter, but Netherlands is sitting shot stone over there on the right side.
Forcing Luxembourg here to come up with a good draw, finding some protection. I think there is a nice spot behind that red stone over on the right. Come around, just park on the red paint on the forefoot, and then you're in between some stones. And if Luxembourg manages to win both opening games, it's not just about the Netherlands losing opportunities to win a tournament. They're even looking at not being third place, because Luxembourg only is 1 point behind at this stage.
Ooh, this one taps that one into a scoring position.
Yeah, interesting opportunity all of a sudden for Netherlands. They basically have an open draw for 3 here.
So open draw for the Netherlands. Should be, this will be for 3.
Yeah.
Already sitting 2, so.
And also riskless. I mean, virtually it's tied 3-3 here, but with this last stone, Netherlands could take the lead after 4 ends going into the final stages of this game with a small advantage on the scoreboard, small score lead of 1. Power play seemed to have worked for the Dutchies.
Now, does he have the right weight? There is some stones in the back, but I think this is well wide of them. It needs to settle down in the 8-foot, and nope, unfortunately, he has thrown it too hard. But that will still be 2 for the Netherlands to tie things up after 4.
Was that the hardest shot in curling?
Absolutely.
Once more, I think at some point we can even make a compilation video of these extremely hard shots.
I think so.
Well, there is the textbook strategy and all of that. And then eventually it all comes down to putting stones in that red circle painty area, and that is already hard enough as it is.
Yep. Good morning, Frank. Welcome
Frank.
to Bina's Nightmare. He is not sure who to vote for at a time there's a tie, and it's been going back and forth. So his allegiances have gone both ways this morning.
We'll have a power play over on the Luxembourgian side as well.
Another power play. Power play. Back-to-back power plays. Netherlands coming away with 2, had an opportunity for 3, and honestly, when you have a power play, you want to get that 3. So they'll be a little disappointed. The open draw that went all the way through. Oh, actually, no, you haven't rooted for both teams yet. Yeah, you've only rooted for the Netherlands because it's been tied or that. So maybe if Luxembourg is able to take the lead here, or Netherlands takes the lead here, then you'd be able to root for Luxembourg. Now, you should have a team to root for in the 6th end. That's probably, I'd say 95% guaranteed. Oh, drops the broom in front. A little mind games there from Daniel.
Yeah. That is indeed a sneaky way to just get your opponent out of their focus.
But nobody else dropped their broom. That's disappointing.
So I wonder, Frank, are there morning games in Belgium during the Belgian Cup?
I believe the first one is at 10 a.m. if I read the WhatsApp message this morning. So excellent starting position, going right onto the pin. The other team can't take it out, so might as well get there first. You can see that is indeed stone number 1.
Yeah. To double check and verify and confirm.
So Luxembourg opting to play out to the wing, which is also a good strategy. And if the Netherlands is unable to guard up that center stone. Started at only 2 ends per game?
Only 2? Can you even call that a game? I mean, at what point do you really dilute the concept of a game with it's like a Curdy Legends duel?
Yeah, except you have 4 people instead of 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is for newer curlers, people just getting introduced to the sport, so very much an open tournament. So the Netherlands will be looking to guard this one up. Weight looks okay. It's going to come into the house, but if it gets on that center line, should be nice. A freeze would be good, but I think that's going to come up just a little bit short.
Love it.
That's a nice stone there.
Yeah, this is an excellent way to deal with the power play of your opponent here.
Now, you could argue it's a little bit deeper than they needed, that it makes that run back shorter, but they still have to hit that run back, so I will try not to be hypercritical in these matches. So once we start broadcasting the European Championships and the World Championships and the Olympics, all bets are off. Bruce Moet, you're 2 centimeters away. You're trash.
Oh,
just so misses the run back. Good effort there from Virginie, but does open things up, takes that guard away, leaves a 3rd yellow in the house. So if they're able to get to that red, that's going to be a dangerous situation for the Netherlands.
I mean, this is one of those classics, right, John? You're looking at the house. Sure, you have the shell stone, but are you entering the strategy where you're trying to defend that one little stone in the center of the house and allow yellow to build up more stones? Because if at some point the defense cracks, you're facing a 4-ender or 5-ender for your opponent.
Yeah, I think the Netherlands, they clearly, you do not want to give up a big house, because then you'll have the hammer going into the last, but you'll need a big score of your own. And they don't have the power play option anymore, so it's going to be a tougher road to hold. This one, light. Is that going to even get over the hog line?
I don't think so, no.
And even if it does, it's over curling. And oh no, yes, that is too slow. So
I mean, that's the thing. With this setup, you know, 3 more stones to come, and basically your job and your objective is, can I do 3 perfect guards? And then if one of the 3 fails,
yeah,
things
so
change and
now
not in your favor.
If Virginie can take this one out, then they're going to be sitting with 4 in the house. Although it's Daniel, was he tapping his broom saying we want to leave it someplace? I don't think so. I would say get rid of this red right away. Don't give them another chance to.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is going for the takeout here. Line seems to be starting to curl, so is that going to go over too much? Nope, that's going to be perfect right there on the nose, sits on the button.
Yeah, I could have used a little bit of a roll, because now it leaves a hit and roll for the Netherlands, so they have a little bit of a lifeline to just tap and roll behind one of the yellow stones. But it is risky business if you are the Dutch team having to face this. And here, 2 more red stones to go.
Yeah, I think Frank's right, putting some pressure on Team NL, and even though this is an open hit.
Yeah, or a freeze, as Frank says, if you're able to pull it off as a damage control option, just to make sure you have a red one in there. That is kind of, freeze is also a hard option to throw.
Yeah, this looks light, so Moro jumping on the broom. Maybe they are looking at a freeze here.
Makes sense, I think. If you pull off a freeze, that's definitely a very useful stone.
Needs to curl over. It's starting to, but is it going to get enough over? No, that's going to chip off the front, and
it works actually.
Ooh, that's not a bad spot. Yeah,
No.
It ends up in second shots.
Yeah,
not frozen. They can still pick it out, but there is that risk that it jams on the shot stone.
Yeah, but the good thing is it's right in front of that yellow stone, and that is really helpful. Sure, there is a bit of distance in between the stones, but there is the off chance of Luxembourg not finding a good angle, and therefore nose hitting red, pushing it on yellow. And if that would happen, all of a sudden red could set up for a steal, guard in front of it, and ride it out.
Exactly. This is going to be, I think this is a pivotal stone for Luxembourg here.
Yep.
I mean, if they can get this hit and roll out to the side and just keep the shooter in, then that's, 5 in the house doesn't look better.
Yeah, and if they just throw it hard enough, even if it catches yellow just at an angle, as long as red is they clear the red danger, then they should be pretty happy about the outcome of this end here.
Yeah. Frank makes a good point that it doesn't matter if they hit the shot stone as long as the red is out, and it might even be better to get rid of that shot stone so there's nothing to freeze up against. Yeah, that's a pretty good point, Frank. Needing to stay this one out to the side. It's going to do nicely. Oh, it does catch the yellow.
That works. Red's out of the 8 foot, so we have a situation.
Yep, 4 yellows. 5 in the house, 4 counting.
Yeah, one more option here for red is basically drawing over on the left side behind the couple of yellow stones, and in front of that yellow is sitting in the back 8 foot. That is their best chance here.
Something right about there would be a pretty good spot. Frozen, it wouldn't give them the shot stone, but it would eliminate a lot of that score. Pivotal stone here for the Netherlands. We saw Morrow in the last end throw a draw through the house, so Wouter indicating it's heavy. It is curling over. That's going to catch on that yellow. It's going to sit out in the open. Where's that yellow going to go off to?
Unfortunately,
red sits shot, but there are
a poor shot stone indeed. It's wide in the open. There is a clear takeout for 5 here, And there is only one kind of minor lifeline for the Netherlands, and that is hope for Luxembourg to miss and find a jam. But any other scenario out there is at least 4, probably 5 for Luxembourg here.
Yep.
Netherlands, they will have to cross their fingers right now.
This side of the nose, and that red goes out there. And that is a 5 house for Luxembourg. Now, there's possibly an angle to double out both those reds, but I wouldn't be looking at that, honestly.
No, yeah, 5-ender is basically as good as a 6-ender at this stage of the game.
I think even a 4 house would be pretty good. This
Oh,
one's starting to
overcurls?
curl. Is that going to overcurl? They need
No.
to get that one. Oh, that's going to get on the nose. Taps the yellow,
It's
but that is
fine.
5.
It's fine. It's 5. And a huge high 5 as well for Virginie and Daniel. I think they just took the win by playing their power play so strong here and just collecting 5 out of 6 stones, not 8, 6 in the double. So the efficiency just is out of the roof. I think.
Is 6-ender, Frank saying 6-ender would be buying drinks. Yeah, I would think so. Everybody in the arena. I only think there's a handful of ice skaters on the ice. Actually, I haven't heard any music in a bit, so maybe there are not any out there right now.
No ice skaters so
So
far.
it would be cheap. All right, Bina, you know who you're rooting for. You know what they need. They need 6 without the benefit of a power play to win this match.
That's nearly impossible. I don't want to say impossible, just from a mathematical point of view, but
yeah, the fat lady is warming up. let's just say that.
Now there's this.
Frank saying he'll root for Luxembourg. They're last in the total standings. They are. They have 11 points. They're looking pretty strong this morning. They're leading in both of these doubles matches against the Netherlands, so that would hop them over into second place.
Yeah, and just strong in second place, adding 6 points to their total. So virtually Belgium 25, Luxembourg 17, the Netherlands 12. That's the virtual standings in the group.
Nearly impossible. Hold my beer. So you're saying there's a chance?
That's Dumb and Dumber, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
One in 1,000? More like 1 in 1,000,000. When settling in as a guard, and not necessarily the worst result for, not a bad result for Luxembourg. They don't need to do much. They just need to prevent the Netherlands from scoring.
Would they be allowed to just kind of throw it out there? I mean, basically, they don't need to set up stuff, or they don't need to do a lot of things here. All they need to do is make sure, and they don't end up with 5 red rocks in the house.
Frank asking and answering his own question about the rendering of the stones on the scoreboard. But yes, it is for doubles, so it's the 1-3-1 separation. Oh, this is a brilliant stone right there, frozen up against.
Oof,
leaves
perfect.
the pin, but now we're just being picky.
Yeah. Well, that's 1 out of 5.
Yep.
4 to go.
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5 because they have the free stone to start with.
Yep.
I think as soon as Luxembourg just kind of follows up with a similar draw, it's almost over. But that's something they already knew up front. They really have to count on luck and mistakes from their opponents to have even
that's
the slightest chance at
really the only way you're getting a big house like that. Needing to get this down. Freeze from Luxembourg would all but seal the match. This one looking really good from Virginie. Daniel on the broom, making sure it gets down there, and there it is. Wow. Shot of the match. That has been clicked.
And you can see also Wouter saying, "All right, now it's over. This is the dream just popped."
That was a killer stone right there. I mean, what do you do? The only way to get rid of it is you're going to have to lose one of those reds.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic.
Yeah, the only way I can see the Netherlands winning here is when both Virginie and Daniel just have a stroke or a heart attack on the ice, and it's a kind of medical forfeit. But that is the only way for the Netherlands.
They have almost 3 minutes of thinking time, and I think that is going to be very difficult for Luxembourg to use up.
I think they're going to use their thinking time to think how they're going to celebrate this win here.
Yep.
Come up with nice ideas.
Coming in nicely as well, getting around. That's going to get on top of that yellow, but unfortunately, it's just going to lock it in tighter.
Yeah. I mean, this is so unfortunate for the Netherlands. They're playing so well. I mean, look at this, and then they have.
Yep.
The yellow is never, ever going to get squeezed out of this situation here. And they're playing so well, but 5 points, yeah.
Frank, I was thinking the same thing. I have Frank Sinatra singing in my head, and now the end is near. We traveled each and every highway. All right.
There's our copyright.
Copyright strike, yeah.
There's the victory music popping in here in the arena.
10 a.m. Free skate has started. The vibes are up. And honestly, for Luxembourg, there really isn't much they can do poorly. I mean, they can just start throwing up guards or throwing stones away. It's, that center guard is working for them. Luxembourg or Netherlands doesn't have the option of really throwing takeouts to get rid of it. So that is, we're just now at academics at this point.
Yeah. I mean, is it just allowed to just shake hands? Because let's face it, there is not that much to play for anymore. It's
the Netherlands could opt to shake hand. Luxembourg can't force them. But so if they want to play it out, they can play it out. But yeah, they are essentially playing dead at this point. Maybe they can get a tap that would loosen things up and have some things break their way, but Morrow trying to chip it over. That's going to chip in off the yellow. It needs to settle in the house at the very least.
Yeah, I think if it's out of the house, at some point they can also be just virtually eliminated from even having a chance at tying the game.
Well, that's the first stone out of the house.
Yeah.
So they still technically have a chance to tie, but really, we know that's not going anywhere. So counter picking myself worked.
Not trusting your own brain is the winning strategy for for winning at life.
This one just going to settle in somewhere off to the side of the house. Now, they do need to be careful not to leave some kind of weird pick-out double.
Oh, that would be super crazy.
That would be, I mean, that would be the thing you'd have to go for. But, yeah, this one going deep into the back.
Yeah, just imagine if there was like an awkward 90 degrees double takeout and that you just fly out horizontally.
Yeah, leaving a yellow here. So red comes in, bang, bang. That would be incredible. But, yeah.
Oh, just imagine. I think if that would happen, I think this reel would just go viral.
Oh,
and
the
whole
chaos, absolutely,
global community.
If that didn't get out in front of everybody, that would be insane.
Yeah, let's set the situation up and Zemst pretend it's a game, attempt a shot until it works, and then see if we can have a fake reel that goes viral, making people believe this was the Belgian Cup final shot of the match.
This is all just to give Bina a sliver of hope. He's sitting on his couch with everything crossed, fingers, hands, toes, legs, eyes. Corner corner freeze against yellow and hit with the last. Yeah, I mean, that's also an option too, but
Here's a GG.
That's GG if that goes out the
Yeah.
back, and it does. And so that is a mathematical elimination, and that is going to be the handshakes. And what a result for Luxembourg. That huge power play, and then to follow it off with that absolutely perfect draw, perfect freeze from Virginie to solidify the win. And so that is 3 more points up for Luxembourg. They are going to jump over the Netherlands in the standings. And over on sheet B, the Netherlands lost 4-2 to Luxembourg. So that's 6 points for Luxembourg this morning.
Yeah, so 2 wins for Luxembourg. They are second in the group stage now with 17 points. Belgium leading 25 points. I think Belgium kind of won the tournament. Netherlands, they needed to win a lot of matches, so it's practically over. And I can't wait for Daniel to come up here. I think if he's very victorious and like, hey, how was our win? Was it caught on stream? I'm gonna say, sorry, Daniel, we had a power outage after 1 minute and we had to cancel the stream. Unfortunately, your 1 win of this tournament was a no-go for you.
Fortunately, that's not true. We did lose about an end's worth of action, but we got the important one, the power plays, the final stone from that incredible stone from Virginie. What a match. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We've got a 4-man match coming up next. We are going to static stream that while we get some coffee. We're just doing the doubles matches this morning, so we'll be back in a couple of hours. But you'll still have curling action between now and then, just without our beautiful faces and voices. So thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.